Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Pathways for BaseCamp Managers. We are here to answer all of those burning pathways questions. How do I approve a completion? How do I approve an education award? And anything else you can think of. My name is Kari Evans. I am the District 44 Program Quality Director, and I have with me two of the most fantastic Pathways champions, and there is a whole fantastic Pathways champions team, but you have two of the most fantastic. We have Damon Edwards and Marcia Williams, and they are going to answer your questions, share some slides, and get you up to speed with how to do your BaseCamp manager role successfully. And so I'm going to turn it over to Damon, who is going to get us started.
Yes, indeed. And greetings, young ladies. As she stated, my name is Damon Edwards, and I am the Pathways champion. I absolutely adore Pathways, and I'm very excited to be able to be here and answer any questions that you may have. So before I bring on our other co-host so she can have a couple of words, I have one question. I would like for each of you three real quickly to put what your current officer role is in the chat, if you don't mind. And Marcia, did you want to welcome everybody and introduce yourself?
Absolutely, thank you. I am Marcia Williams, and I'm here to walk alongside you to answer any questions that you may have. And I will jump in as needed, but Damon will lead our discussion today. And I would say, ask any questions you have. All questions are great. So thank you for being here.
Thank you for saying that, because that's sometimes what we tend to do as human beings. We think, oh, that's a dumb question. There's no such thing as a dumb question. How can you learn if you don't ask? And I'm the one, I ask. So I see we have a president, a vice president of education, and a sergeant at arms. I love that. So what I'm wondering, Miss Jennifer Eichelberger, I was wondering if this evening, if you didn't mind being our, what do we want to call you? Our Pathways champion adjacent, where when we go into D44, when we go into Pathways, so that way we're doing and not just looking at a slide. If you would like, you're basically the one who has the access. Let me just go ahead and keep it real. You have access to it, and it actually will help out not only yourself because you're doing it, but also the other individuals on here because we're participating, right? It's not a class. So we do want to make sure it's professional because I tend to, loosen up a little bit, but we also want you to be comfortable and make sure that at any moment you have a question, you post it in the chat. Ms. Marcia is going to be running that while I run deck. But I just wanted to make sure that I gave that ask of you, Jennifer, if you didn't mind.
Okay, what is it you want me to do?
Already have. Basically, when we get started on logging in and approving or finding and locating, we'll be sharing your screen. Is that okay?
Okay, you're sharing my screen. Okay, okay.
Because I didn't think you want to give me your, your username password. I'm kidding. All right. So first up, we've already said our roles, right? I'm going to pull up the slide deck, but while I'm doing that, how about we start with Ann, then go to Latoya, and then go to Jennifer, and let everybody know what current path you are on.
Okay, Ann here. I wish I could tell you what current path I'm on. I've been on the same path for a year, almost a year, and I just don't even remember. So that'll tell you the kind of involvement that I've had with Pathways. I, as a New Year's resolution, I have decided that I really wanted to make more of an effort to improve myself, improve my speaking skills, and really get in the swing of things with Toastmasters. So the whole purpose of my being here today is to figure out how to use Pathways and bring it into my club, because at my club, we talk and we have different speakers and we have a fun time, but we're really not focused on education. And I think we need to kind of move off the social path we're on and get more back into education.
Nice. I think we're going to be touching on that and talking about that later. That's very good topics. I'm very glad you brought it up because it is definitely something, and as well, I'm glad we're recording this, that people are going to need to know. You know, we have all kind of got, even me, I mean, I'm really comfortable, period, but we've all kind of gotten comfortable. I just now, you know, started on my second level in my second path, and it took me 3 years to get past my first one. But I was everywhere, you know, I was trying to do everything and be a leader here. But am I being a leader here if I can't work my time with trying to, you know, I love that. What about you, LaToya?
My pathway is presentation mastery. That's what it is. And I'm on level 2.
Congratulations. Nice.
Yeah,
You having fun?
same applies that the young lady just said, same thing applies. I could be much further along, myself and my team. I'm here today to get them back motivated. The education piece is our missing link. So yeah, I'm hoping to get a lot from this meeting today.
Before we move on, Anne, what is the name of your club?
You're on
You're
mute.
on mute. No worries.
Toastmasters at Paces West.
Okay. And LaToya?
City of Atlanta, 3411.
Okay, thank you.
And remember, LaToya, Pathways is exactly that. It's a pathway. It's a pathway for you. It's a pathway for me, but neither of those are the same. There's some individuals, we won't say their name, Lena, who are skating and flying and going and doing, because that's their path. That's their zhuzh, as I like to say to when I'm training at work. You know, that's how they do things. If it takes you, I mean, you don't want to take it 10 years, but if it takes you 10 years, it takes you 10 years. That's the beauty of Pathways. There's no, you fail because you took too long. You know, so I wouldn't beat yourself up. Like I said, it took me 3 years. And that third year was when I got to the electives and I was like, oh, wow, you know, I didn't know it. And now we can actually look ahead. So great job. How about you, Miss Jennifer?
Okay. I am relatively new at everything. I joined Toastmasters and Interstate North in November and was appointed VP in January, but my pathways is innovative planning and level 1.
Yay. Me and you are twins. That was exactly my life. Thrive started. Come on, you're the nerd. Why don't you be the VPE and you go ahead and learn this new program that's coming out. And innovative planning was what I allowed Toastmasters to choose for me because I didn't know what to do. I was one of those individuals that said, I'll go ahead and fill this out, you know, let it tell me where to go. And I'm very proud I did. That innovative planning has really helped me. I'm getting better, but it's really helped me with my time management. Because I'm Sagittarian. I procrastinate.
I'm a Sagittarian.
Yeah, I told you we twins. Damon Eichelberger and Jennifer Edwards. Well, as I'm sure, thank you so much, ladies, for answering questions and giving us a feel for your path. You know, what is the path to you? That's what you want to take back to your clubs. That is the biggest thing that you take back to your club. I'm repeating, but that's the biggest thing you want to give to your family. That's what I call my club members. You know, this is your family. Everybody's different. Dad is not mom. Mom is not aunt. Everybody has a whole different life outside of Toastmasters. So what can you do to get everybody involved and invigorated? And that's make it fun for you. You know, I'm not a salesman at all, but I do know you'll sell anything when you go to somebody and you're at an 11. You know what I mean? Like you're just exuding the love of something. It sells it. So this right here, again, as I'm sure you know, we should know, is the login for www.toastmasters.org, where all leaders go to do anything, no matter what role you play. This is a very important website. I wanted to kind of say it that way because I know Miss Jennifer is brand new, and we're going to be utilizing her. So it's actually working out in everybody's favor still. So for you, Miss Jennifer, are you on this website currently?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. And are you familiar with where to log in on this website?
Yes, I go to the website frequently.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
And
I do
Latoya,
too.
when you, oh, go ahead. You said it?
I said, I do too.
Yeah, I know that's right. I'm so sorry. I'm the Zoom master of the world, and Miss Jennifer, it just scares me to just see your forehead. I just want you to just a little bit, because you're so pretty.
Okay.
And now if you're bending down right, and oh, if you're eating, girl, then I get it. We're on camera. We're good. I just wanted to make sure your, you know, your actual device wasn't that high.
Okay.
Okay. So Latoya, when you log in as a sergeant at arms, are you familiar with Leadership Central? Have you dealt with that? You know, clicking on that, because I love that you're here and you're going to be that spokesperson. It's really probably in your favor as you move on to a role next year, maybe VPE, and I see it for you.
I'm actually the president.
Oh, are you the sergeant at arms and president?
Yeah.
No,
I'm the sergeant at arms.
Oh, I got the names wrong. That's not cute. I'm so sorry. Wow. Sorry, President.
I do play that role too, so no problem.
Yeah, well, we all do, don't we? Amen.
Mhm.
All right. Well, Jennifer, are you familiar with sharing your screen?
I am. I've been Zooming for a full 2 years now.
I know that's right. I'm going to stop share real quickly, and
Mhm.
we're going to go from here with Jennifer, and we're going to log in. We're going to go into Leadership Central. You know, we're going to go to where we need to get to for, I said Leadership Central, excuse me. We're going to log in and go to Pathways. I'm in the wrong
Okay.
meeting.
Okay. You want me to log in?
No, just share your screen first so we all see you log in.
Okay. Dun, 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 dun.
And that's for those that's, you know, watching in Santa's land.
Okay.
Oh, that's pretty.
Can you see my screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yeah, that is a great screen.
Okay. So you want me to log in?
Yes.
Okay.
And if you don't mind, can you go ahead and make that full screen?
How's that?
That is beautiful.
Okay, so I'm gonna log in because it.
You better have your own email. I need that. Damon@damon.com. I love it.
Okay.
All right. And where would you click first to go to Pathways?
To go to Pathways,
Yes, ma'am.
or to go to BaseCamp, because it says Pathways right there.
It's a trick question. You did good. Yes, ma'am. And then it was going to lead into, and after you click on Pathways, show us how to get into BaseCamp.
Yeah, so if you go to Pathways, then you go to BaseCamp.
Now, do we know the difference between BaseCamp and BaseCamp Management?
No.
See how there's two options, right? So who does? Let's see, I don't want to give the answer. Out of you three, who knows the difference between go to BaseCamp and log in as BaseCamp Manager? Kind of just told you, I guess, but
I would appreciate if you would explain the difference so I'll understand.
understood.
Is
So the
that
best
where-
way to know, because I know Latoya's about to give the answer, the best way to know is it tells you right at the top, access my path through BaseCamp. So go to BaseCamp is innovative planning, or motivational strategies, or pick any of these dangling jewels that I have behind me. Logging in as BaseCamp Manager means I am one of the three positions that have the access to approve, to accept, to acknowledge, anybody's levels as they complete them. So the difference would be when you go in as a VP, let's say you're a VPE, we use that role. When you go to BaseCamp, you're only logging into your path. You're not going to be able to see your club's information at all. It's all about you. And logging in as BaseCamp Manager means I'm a manager. I need to manage the entire club. So that's what the difference is. So for this particular Zoom that we have, which one will we click on? I love it. I know some people are like, well, this is Pathways, period. This is going to be BaseCamp Management. We're going to learn and discuss and find out how to make sure that when we have club members complete a path, when we're in that row, one of the three, we're properly acknowledging them in both places where they have to be acknowledged, and also some other items. So if you can, Jennifer, have you logged in as BaseCamp Manager? Yeah.
I think I have once. So want me just to click it and see
Yes.
what happens? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Great job. So this right here, ladies, is BaseCamp Management. There's a lot here. Again, I'm one of the individuals that says, don't yak your yum, don't disrespect anybody's intelligence, and allow accountability. Your leaders play around. There's nothing that you can tear up. But what we're going to discuss first is pending requests. Pending requests are whenever one of your members has finished finished the path, and they submitted that path for the VPE, I believe it's the president, and the secretary. Is that correct, Marcia? Yes, those three individuals have the ability to, I like the word acknowledge, or approve a level being clear. So that helps some of us that are brand new or don't know or are wearing too many hats. I need you to go ahead, take care of that. In all honesty, for a thriving club or a flourishing club, in my opinion, it should be the VPE. That's your role. That's what you do. You know what I mean? The Pathways is you. It's where it's how you interact with your club members. It's how you get them on the agenda, side conversation real quickly. That's how you sell your agenda. You can't get anybody on the agenda and you've got plenty of people who haven't done their icebreaker. Look at your DCP goals. How many ones do you need? How many twos do you need? That's your role as a VPE. And this helps you. And it helps you with getting them on the agenda. We need to get you on the agenda to get this speech taken care of. So that way we can add you as our number two, so we can get this president's to see, it just, that's kind of how Thrive did our thing, and getting people on the agenda. Like, this is our goal. We're competitive. We're trying to get presidents. So we need you to join in, but I digress. So pending request, you might, let's see if you have some, if you might have one that you need to approve and didn't even know it. Boom. You're on. No, I think this is that actually is no, that's completion. That's completion. So this is a very
good. This is good, Devon, to talk about what happens when your own pops up.
Yeah, I love it. I was psychic. I was just about to say that. This is actually a very good opportunity for all of us to see. Do you think that it's conducive in life for you to be able to approve your own path?
Well, in all honesty, what happened was, no, what happened, I kind of jumped the gun. So I'm playing catch up because I just completed my second speech a couple weeks ago. So that's why that's still there. So I was just, when I got so excited when I joined that I was going through everything and I didn't know what I was doing, in other words.
Well, I mean, I'm glad. Okay, well, me and you really are related. We're just telling ourselves. So that wasn't really the question, but I'm glad you're honest. That's always good, because then it's your character. You know what I mean? It lets us all know. What really we're discussing real quickly is, if she was to try as the VPE to click the check mark on the right-hand side, it's not going to let her, because it's her own. She would need to communicate with the secretary or the president, and they would have to approve it for her. Now, I will go ahead and slide in something else real quickly. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do it, because we're adept. We're smart. Some clubs tend to have to do this. Let them sit here in order to achieve certain goals. You may have, sir, it's about to be the next year, about the end of the year, excuse me, and you may need to have a running start. I don't suggest it, because it's like you're holding back somebody. Well, not really, because they can move on now in pathways. But it helps you with your DCP goals and achieving president and select, because you're holding them until the next time that they would be counted. So if you got everybody in fours, and you need to worry about trying to get more club members to come in and get the 1 and the 2, save that 5 or save that extra 4 for the next year. So you automatically have it as soon as you start that year. But just want to slide that in there. So yeah, you basically would not be able to click approve, but let's treat this as if this is somebody else, and then we'll kind of stop here. I'm going to pull up the slide so that way we can kind of go to it and be able to see what would happen next if it was you being able to click. So when you, as a BaseCamp manager, log in and you see that you have any individuals that must be approved for completion, this is step 1, or completion 1. In your head, especially you, Jennifer, this is completion 1. There's 2 completions. This is part A. This is 1. And the check mark by where it says options, there's a check and an X. That's where you would, that's where you would click the check mark if you were approving it. Then you would have this screen pop up. And this is where you, as a leader, a brother, a sister, can congratulate and acknowledge and give blessings. A lot of people don't know, a simple like on a Facebook can really make somebody's day sometimes, and you just saying great job, wonderful speech on this, whatever you chose to as a VPE, president or secretary. This allows you to give them that little love note. And then you would click submit. So where we're at right now, we logged into Pathways. We logged into BaseCamp Management. We saw that we had a individual who didn't do none of the, no, I'm just kidding, who needed to be approved so that she got her award for passing her path, her path, excuse me. And then when we clicked on there, it led us to the ability to give that individual a note. And you click submit. Trying to get this out of the way.
So I have a question.
Yes, of course.
So assuming that this was somebody else, and I would click on the green check,
Correct.
and then that's when submit would pop up?
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, that's why I put it right after your slide, because I knew it wouldn't work for you. Now, if you, I don't want to prolong it because I want to make sure we're getting the meat of what you really can get from here. But I want to just slide in real quickly. One of the things that's great about BaseCamp Management and Pathways is its accountability. You know, as a VPE, if somebody is submitting for that path, then you should be able to go to your agenda and count every single one of those speeches done. That's how you hold individuals accountable. And it's also, like they did for me, how you get them to go do a speech and get it so that they can, you know, because we don't want to submit and it be incorrect. You know, you're taking away from somebody's growth and somebody's success.
Okay.
But yes, this would be the very next screen. And it moves on to here for part 2. I wanted to give Marcia an opportunity to add, or if she wanted to discuss, and if you want to, you can even take it from here. She's like, I'm fine, I'm eating.
All right, no worries. Now, so once you've completed approving in Pathways, the next step is to go to Toastmaster. That's where the designation would occur. So what you've done in the Pathway system is ensure that it is accounted for that member so they can move to the next level. Because if it's not approved, they can't move forward. Then you would go to Club Central. And in Club Central, we may need to get Jennifer's screen, as I do not have access to Club Central currently.
Okay.
But we would go to Club Central, so we could stop sharing yours and she could go in.
What do you need me to do?
You would go to Club Central.
So come out of this?
Yes, so you would come out of, what you really need, you would go to the top screen, click on Leadership Central. Do you see that up there in the burgundy? What, Leadership Central?
Do I go back to home first?
You can.
Okay.
Stay logged in.
Oh, I think this just does Pathways though, Marcia.
Oh,
You have to go to literally the org.
okay,
So,
go
yeah,
to Toastmasters.org.
Yeah,
Sorry.
that's the part, and that's what makes, and I don't mean to interject real quickly, but that's the part that kind of makes this particular piece a little difficult with us not having that ability. So
Mhm.
basically, when you check and go through what we just went through, you would actually close out and then go back to Toastmasters.org.
Yes,
So go back to Toastmasters?
to Toastmasters.org, yes.
Okay, so,
Like a whole new window,
okay.
browser, yeah. Okay, sorry.
When I was VPE, I kept just 2 screens up to make it easy for me.
That's a very good suggestion, actually. How can you forget to do the 2 parts? You
Yes.
know, if you automatically, wow, that's very wise, actually.
Okay.
It almost sounded like I was being funny, but like that actually is a very smart. I'm glad you said that. I wonder how many people think that it's so simple, but is
Mhm.
it, you know?
No, just trying to find ease because my club has a lot of members and it's important to submit timely. So you've done part 1A, now it's part 1B. You would go to Leadership Central. So you would click on that lightly. When it's grayed out,
Okay.
then you move to the left to Club Central. Do you see Club Central? to the left.
Club Central, okay,
So click on Club Central.
okay.
Perfect. And so it says, submit educational awards. Is that what it says? Something along that line?
Yep, on the left-hand
Mhm.
side.
So you would select that.
Okay, I'm taking notes as well. All right,
No
collect what
worries.
now? I'm sorry,
Submit educational awards.
right here.
Yes, you would select that portion.
Okay,
And that's going to give you the listing of members in your club. So you can select the first person that comes up, for example. All right, and that person, it will show what path they're on. But here's the most important thing, though. Please ensure that you're selecting the portion that was authorized. There's a lot of instances, so I view the district's educational awards, and sometimes folks are unsure of where to go. So if they're doing PM1, you're only selecting, say, PM1, not PM1, 2, or 3, just that level that was attained and approved. Does that help? Because once you select the person's name, that information will come up. So you'll ensure that it's only one level, not all levels or all paths that they are registered in. Very, very important.
Yeah,
So you could select one of the names, just go to one of the names and see what comes up.
okay. I was trying to find my name, but I guess because okay,
It won't allow you to.
okay.
Mhm. So just
Oh.
select someone else's. Yes, it's very, this accountability and, for it, that you can't just, no worries. So you could just select someone else's who you know is actively,
Okay, I'll do our
working.
president. So just
Okay.
click on her name, okay?
absolutely. All right, and there's a drop down box maybe,
Okay,
and see what's there. It's okay, so it's saying what this person is working on. And you would only select that level. So it's not at a path, it's at a level that you would be authorizing and submitting.
and if
Does that
I
help?
if I can interject just
Mhm.
real quickly, notice how it's online motivational strategies and print presentation mastery. Just so nobody's confused, if you ever see that, that basically means when they chose that path, they chose to receive that entire document that we see on Pathways in the mail. So if I'm not mistaken. So I just want it doesn't mean anything. It's not like you have to jump through an additional hoop. I just wanted it to not confuse anybody if you saw like, wait. I never saw you with a piece of paper. You know what I mean? Or
Right.
whatever. It's not, I don't think it's that serious, but I just didn't want it to be something that shocked you.
And I know there's some folks who require it to be in print, but I'll let you know too, that as you view each level, here are a couple of the steps. You have to launch it and you have to view the training material. So I'll kind of veer off a bit. You can actually print those, because like today I was working on a path. I just copy and paste so I can have it to read it. Because as you go through it, you may forget the content that is presented for you to review, to create your project list. I'm saying quite a bit, but we can go back. And then you can complete your speech, be evaluated, and then we come to this level. So you do have the opportunity to print the material as you go through the training material. But as we go back here, is step one, it was in Pathways, authorize the level that has been attained. And here you submit to Toastmaster International the level that was attained. So it's 2 steps, not the whole path, but just the level. Once that is done, the person that you've submitted an award for will receive an email, and you will too. Any questions? Is there anything you'd like me to repeat?
no, it's making more sense. I'm learning.
Oh, that's okay. And remember, you'll probably still have questions, and they're always great.
And as you can tell, there's nothing that you can do wrong. You know, well, maybe submit somebody on error, but it can still be fixed. You know, at the end of the day, what we're most trying to do is to make sure that anybody who is on a path is being accredited, being recognized, and being seen, you know, in a timely fashion. So I wanted to kind of slide over to the next phase. Once you got a question? Yes, of course.
Hi, yes, I do have a question. So whatever is listed under, wait, what was that? Was that
The
awards?
awards? Yeah.
We approve those two or just,
No, just the one they, like Marcia said earlier, just the one that they finished.
okay, so how do we know? I guess we would have to ask them what they finished, because this is the stuff that I have many questions on.
You're exactly right. You're exactly right.
Yes.
Because that's the communication with your club. You know, if and I mean it because I'll let you talk, Marcia. You know, that's the communication that I was talking about earlier as a VPE, especially. Let's utilize that role. That's your role. You're supposed to be following them along their path. So once they finish, like I was on 2 paths, so I can see where you're coming from. You know what I mean? If I was to submit both of mine, you know, it will it go through? What can it be approved? You know, but the thing is once you finish one, you know, if you chose to go somewhere else, yay. But you know, are you doing them side by side? You know, and then that's where I'll let you know Marcia take it from there. Like let's help out if for those individuals who are doing 2 paths at once.
Okay, I'm currently doing 2 paths, but let me ask you, LaToya, what system do you currently use to maintain record of speeches done by the club members?
Marcia, so just like president, and like I said, with Sergeant of Arms, I'm also taking on this as well. So
Okay.
yeah, I'm a little behind with this because we have officers designated for these positions, but some have kind of fell off. So, and I refuse to let
No
it
worries.
get
No worries.
behind. So
So do you think you used to use Excel spreadsheet or do you use like an online system?
Like free toast host.
we do have free toast hosts,
Okay,
but we don't know how to gain access to it. Since
Okay.
COVID, the prior president struggled with it because before COVID, we're not able to get in contact with any of those older members. So we pretty much started anew.
Let me ask you a question real quickly. When does your
Mhm.
club meet?
Every Thursday at 6:15 p.m.
I have a contest.
Okay. We're coming to
Um,
visit.
Yeah, we definitely
We're coming.
need to chat.
Yeah.
Now again, I don't want to say it's just me and Marcia. There's a whole slew of pathways champions that you know have the ability, but I do want to definitely make sure that we get you lined up with one, the area director, and 2 pathways champions for you. Because you know, and it's not about cleaning it up. It's about providing the assistance that you need.
Yes.
You clearly are fighting, and you've got a whole army right here to help. So I just want to make sure that you know that. So during this, you know, we're learning how to, you know, approve, print off certificates, congratulate individuals, be able to see where everybody's at in their paths. You know, that's the focus of this. But I want to make sure that you also know, let's go ahead and share some information, you know what I mean, when we get to the end. So that way we can kind of help you out off camera, so to speak.
Yeah,
That
I
way,
thank
yeah.
you. I
Oh, that's
am in contact with our area director,
Okay.
Patrice, and she's
You're in Division B?
yes, but there,
That's
yes.
why.
So
I'm
yeah,
actually going to be. I've actually asked me to come to you guys, so I actually will be coming to see you guys soon. Okay.
yeah, we
Wow,
have
that is good.
new people coming on board. The name is very good for us, City of Atlanta, because that makes people click on. But this is that area that I.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I will. In other words, I don't mean to say in other words.
Okay, so you have help. You have a lot of folks to assist you. So thank you for bringing that up.
Yeah. Okay, so
but-
I'll
but-
get with my people and just ask which ones
Absolutely.
I need to approve.
But I will say this, though, it's important to keep good records as to who does a speech. Now, years ago, we're talking 20-something years ago when I started, I did an Excel spreadsheet. So if that's what you need to do for now until the others can help you, that's an option so that you get a grasp of it. That's
Okay.
how you'll know where that person is. And another thing, you can ask individually, when was the last time you gave a speech? Did you get an evaluation? Was it returned to you? Those kinds of things. So it's going to be a gathering of the information, but we certainly can delve more into that part for you.
Okay.
But yes, absolutely. But you've heard us talk about free toast hosts. My club has a robust version, so we get reports.
Yeah.
So if a person said they did something, we always go to those reports to match with what is being submitted to Pathways. So it's in line, and that's how we keep a record.
Oh. Okay.
Did you want to handle this slide, Marcia?
All right, so we're looking at a member's progress. So in this portion of Pathways, one, you could look for pending records, which we looked at. But if a member says, well, I'm not sure where I am, you could go to this portion, enter the member's name, and you could see all the paths that this member is active on, and it will show you the information. So the name will pop up. You will click on the name, and this will give you the member's information.
You need me to do something?
No,
No.
you're good.
Oh,
Can
okay.
Okay, and you'll see the member's information. And this particular member, they've been a member since that time. So those details will be available to the BaseCamp manager.
Exactly. And this is also the area where you would print off certificates if you utilize them. Another quick thing for clubs who are trying to get more members or trying to retain, it's acknowledging, whenever somebody passes a level or gives a speech, do a certificate. When you print off this certificate, you can put it right up on Zoom and congratulate them right at the end. You can go post it in Facebook. You can put it on LinkedIn. Remember what Toastmasters does. Once you get, what is it, the second path, I think. Once you go past the second path, you start getting the VPE get the email that says, would this member like this to be sent to their job? And Toastmasters has a nice letter. I actually know one person who was promoted, going through this. So, and again, I'm not selling it because I wasn't, but you never know. And a lot of people don't recognize truly what type of benefit Toastmasters is to you, not just here, but outside of our clubs. So this is one of those scenarios where, as you can tell, I'm clicking. I want to make sure I explain why, not because of time, but more so this is something that you want to go delve into. It's not one of them things where we should talk about it all and explain it, because you have to be able to say, well, like for instance on here, Jack came in and said, well, I got my level 3 certificate, but I didn't get my level 1 because back then we weren't doing it, or whatever the case may be. You can actually go back and get it for them if they wanted to have archives. Yeah, everything is everything in Pathways. That's why I keep telling people, I don't know why you're not in it. But this is how you get to it. It's the same way, as we all know, as we go through our path. It's very similar. But as a BaseCamp manager, this is you going into someone else's. So now you're going to theirs and getting their certificate, or even verifying. Somebody tells you they did it, you can go through their path right here and say, well, but this one right here doesn't have a check mark. You know what I mean? We're going to have to, let's talk about it. And this is what the certificate looks like. It's beautiful. It's outlined in gold. No, I'm just kidding. But it just is, I don't know. Like I always say, acknowledging somebody is a lot more beautiful than most people think. But to be acknowledged is it's very special. And especially in D44, because if you've been around and been on Zoom meetings where we're all together, it's like one big family reunion. It's like we're not separate clubs almost. It's not cliquey at all. It's just one big family. But you can print it off. We all know that. You can actually, if you're not familiar, for those of us that aren't, when you click print, it will pop up that screen that will allow you a drop down to make it a PDF or to actually print it off. A PDF will allow you to send it as an email. What's up? Yes, ma'am.
I was like, where's the certificate? I'm sure we're still looking at the education award.
Yeah, that's what this is. Like
Well,
right here.
refresh your screen and see.
Oh, you can't see mine?
Yeah, it looks like.
Ooh,
Refresh
over
your
here does the
screen.
clicking.
We probably have to go back. Yeah.
Well, that explains it. No, I'm like, what are you talking
Yeah,
about?
because I didn't see, don't I have to stop sharing?
Wow.
Wow, I was able to see Demond. Okay, so yes, Jennifer. Oh goodness. What
Yeah, I
just
can do
happened?
it. I can
Do
do
I
it
need
for
to
you.
stop sharing? Do I need to stop sharing?
I already did it for you. You good?
Okay, all right.
I'm sorry, ladies.
Okay, so this is what you're talking about.
Lord, Lord, Lord.
We'll
So,
just go back for you. Don't worry.
woo, no wonder. So
Oh.
yeah, sorry. I'm so sorry, y'all. And I'm sitting here looking at it on mine, clicking, because I hit share, and I thought it was like Teams, where once I share, it would have just superseded you. You know what I mean? So apparently not. You just taught me something. I called myself Zoom King. All right. So basically, when Marcia was talking about here is where, I don't know if y'all heard me, and I was like, no, this is print certificates earlier. This is what I was looking at when she was looking at Ms. Jennifer's screen. So I'm so embarrassed. I opened this up after she had shown everybody how to acknowledge on 1B. Once you do the pathways acknowledgement, then you do Toastmasters.org acknowledgement, then you want to move over to print their certificates for them, if that's what you chose to do for your particular club. And that's where I'll start clicking, because this is basically what we're going through. You click up in here, and this is where you would be able to search for the member that you're looking for. And as you can tell, it's very easy. You don't have to put a full name. You can start typing, and it'll start with the pop-up, with the drop-down. You put a D, it's going to be everybody with first name D, so you don't have to worry about having, if you forgot that one member's name, I'll say it that way. But you knew it started with a D. And then you click on their name, it takes you into their global search so that you can search for that particular member. Takes you to their profile. So now you can see, FYI, this is where you can start telling members, you can put when the last time you did a role, and you can be acknowledged for that. You can have a summary and interest. Why don't you fill out your profile? There's so many things that you can get people involved in Pathways. They can't help but to do Pathways, right? So path and learning is where you would go, of course, because you're trying to get this individual their certificate. And then you would go to whichever level of that path. So this is, I believe, she's doing engaging humor. She has innovative planning. And then if you don't know, once you get to a certain level, Pathways Mentor Program opens up for you. But these two are like the main, what you see behind me, right? So for her, they were going into engaging humor, went into the curriculum. Here's her levels. Notice how it says path completion. She's got check marks, VPE. That's how you verify also. Everything should be checked. They want their certificate. You view the details prior to path completion, because notice how this is still a circle there, right? Does anybody know why that circle's still there?
hasn't been
It's
approved?
not approved.
Or that's the path that they're on, or that's the level they're on?
Hasn't been approved, hasn't been completed by the VPE or the secretary or the president. So once you click on the view certificate, that's where you'll be able to, and I just wanted to kind of ask that question because it gets you churning, you know, like, so will I be able to do this without? Yes, because they've opened up all the pathways, whereas before you had to go in order, like there was nothing else, it was boom, boom, boom. Now, because you can open all of them up, that's why I was explaining earlier, if anybody did in the past lose out on a certificate, you can go back and be able to print it off. And that's what the certificate looks like, as I was saying earlier, with the gold leaf that you didn't get to. No wonder you didn't laugh. I was like, they're not laughing at my joke. Anyway, and this is where I was saying, when you print, it gives you the opportunity. We have a lot of hybrid clubs. My Thrive is a hybrid club. We meet and we meet online because we have individuals who are out of the country. So this allows you to keep it consistent, not forget about the homies at home or the sisters and brothers that's in your face, 6 feet away.
Let me also add, can you go back again to the
sorry.
name, if you don't mind? Because you can actually give people badges. So for example, where you enter the name, that there is a setting. You see that flowers, if you may, that setting. I can't quite see your presentation, but to the very far
Oh,
right,
is it small?
there's a black thing. If you select that, it will give you a listing of all the folks in your club. And if Joan did something fantastic, if Joan was a helper, there is a badge you could give. So you could play around with that. I don't know all the badge, but you could do badges there as well. What we also have done in our club, as he mentioned, printing the certificate, we do a screen print of that. And at awards time, we show those certificates. So it's a good way not only to print it, to send it, but when there's an award presentation, you'll say, ta-da, this is what they have. So there's a lot of things you could do. I would say play around with that screen as well, and you'll be able to.
No, man, I can't get this off of here. That was the first time I ever done that. You just taught me something today. Thank you. Nice. I can't.
I have a question.
Yes, please.
The badges, you give them for when? Say.
Oh, you're on mute.
You're on mute.
Sorry about that. Sorry. So there are different types of badges. It's going to be up to you at your discretion. So if there's someone who's done well, there are different named badges that are there, and you can enter their name. You're allowed to do this, or you're able to go into that. If you click on that star at the very top, it gives you everyone in the club. You can highlight that, Damon. And what that does is, or you can actually select the name of that person and go into their details and profile. So there are a couple of steps. And you can, it's an option for you. 2 years ago, that's what I did to a lot of my members. Or if they help with, say, the club contest, there's something, I don't know all the names immediately off the top of my head, but you have the ability to give badges as a way of affirming and encouraging others.
Okay. All right.
Nice. Where we at? 7:58. Where were we? 7 to 8?
Yes,
Where we-
7 to 8.
I don't know, but this is good. Thank you.
It is good.
Awesome.
You can tell it needs to be broken up. So, you know, and I'm glad Kari allowed us, you know, because it intends to be, pathways tends to not be something you need to put on an agenda a lot of times, because you never know what you might need to ask. But I am happy that we were able to get through a big chunk of the responsibility in BaseCamp. Sorry, Kari.
Yeah, and actually next Thursday, and I was typing this information in the chat, next Thursday at 7 p.m., we're having another Pathways workshop. We call it Pathways for the Unsigned. It's all for new members who are just, well, who are new to Toastmasters, or not necessarily new to Toastmasters, but new to Pathways. And so it's going to be an information and demonstration about choosing your path, and then kind of getting started from choosing your path to giving your icebreaker, and